Ryan stuff. Today's episode is about an Intex, Intex, blow up air mattress which is leaking but has no obvious signs of a hole or puncture anywhere, or is not leaking along a seam. You can't find anything, but it is leaking. And I'm going to talk about why it's probably leaking, where it's probably leaking, and how you're not going to be able to fix it. So this is what episode's about. I'm going to have various sequences as follow that should make it clear what's going on with this particular mattress. That's part one. Corona stuff. Today is the 13th of July, 2025. Okay, so where is the mattress leaking? As you can see, I have now sprayed the entire mattress with a water sprayer. I've been looking for bubbles anywhere, and I cannot find any except over here on the pump assembly, and I will show you what I discovered there. But I have completely sprayed this thing looking for any kind of air bubbling, and there isn't any except where the pump is. Okay, this is a shot about it leaking and where it's leaking. And what I'm going to try to do is to turn it on. And you can see the air bubbling out in the corner here. And it'll eventually bubble out along this switch. If I shoot some more water, you see it bubbling out of the corner right there. This is, you see it? It will bubble out also around the switch, but particularly in that corner there and around the switch, as you see. Okay, there's no other leak in the system. This is Intex, and it's with the built-in pump, and I'll talk about in a minute what you can and can't do about it. But anyway, that's showing where it's leaking. There's no other leaks anywhere else. It all has to do where the built-in pump is installed into the mattress. Okay, this is the pump box in the Intex built-in pump mattress, and I have removed the blower at the bottom, and I've removed the control faceplate here with a knob on it, and you see it is just a completely sealed box down in here. And I think hope there was no leaking around this edge right here, but if you look at the box, there's no holes at the bottom. So how does the air get in? Aha, over here on this side there is a valve, a pressure, spring-based pressure valve, and that is the only source of air in or out. And what happens is when you put the pump in and you turn the pump on, this box is going to fill with air, and when it gets enough pressure, it's going to, when you rotate the knob, and I'll show you that, part of rotating the knob is to push this valve in, allowing the pump to actually fill up the air mattress, okay? And then when you're done filling and you turn off the pump motor and you rotate it away from fill, this switch will come out again, supposedly sealing this valve. So the only air in and air out is via this kind of a needle valve right here on the side of the box. There's no other holes in the box for air to get in and out except right here at this one valve. My problem is, and I'll show you later, is it's leaking air at this valve when it should be closed, like in this position. It's leaking air, and The construction of the pump just sits down on the bottom. That's no big deal. But the top control, and it's down here, and I'll show you it. This is the faceplate. It shows the motor down there, but this is the faceplate. It fits down over the motor housing inside the body. Okay, and this knob right here is an arrow and a big screw right here. Shows you that's to inflate it. Then you rotate it around until you come to deflate. Now, what I want to show you on this knob, an aspect of it that, okay, here we go. This is in full deflate mode, and you'll see on this big piece, this is the piece that mates against the motor. But right here, it's called, I call it a cam, but it is when you rotate toward closure, if you could see it or not. Yeah, there it is. I'm talking about this cam right here. When it's in inflate mode over here, there's nothing pushing on that white pin rod over here. The air pressure that builds up in the box is going to force that needle valve open. Okay, so once you turn the switch off, the needle valve should shut because there's nothing pushing air out of the box. It should shut, and this box was put in there without any kind of sealant around the edges anywhere. No plumber's grease on this, nothing. The intent was that needle valve down inside the metal box, inside the black box, right there, that needle valve should, by the pressure built up in the mattress, not be leaking air into this box. There was no protection made to make this box airtight because this was not going to release any air. That is the problem. It is releasing air even when there's no pressure in the air box down here, or that cam has not come around and pushed it in to deflate it. And that's what this cam on the control knob, that's pretty much all it really does. There is no, it doesn't really turn on the pump. That's the switch over there. All it does is it moves this cam right here on the control knob. Over here inflate, there's nothing pressing against this valve over here. But as you rotate this plate, it comes around and it starts depressing that pin that's stuck out. And as it goes farther around to fully deflate, it pushes that pin all the way in. I'm fully around to deflate now, right there. It has pushed that pin all the way in. And you see how it's sloped, so as you move toward inflate, it's not pushing the pin at all. But as you go to deflate, it does. So the problem with the mattress is, again, the box wasn't, there's no sealing around the box, so the box wasn't supposed to leak. This valve was not supposed to leak, but it does. That's the problem I have, because I cannot find any leak anywhere else, and it's leaking around this box. This box was not meant to be airtight. This valve was meant to be airtight. This is part of the box. There's no way to extract this needle valve here, and it is not sealing properly. That's the problem. So it's basically, when it starts leaking here and around the flange, because that's where I saw it and I showed you, it's a throwaway, because you can't do anything about this. You might want to shoot some oil down in there, but I doubt it would help anything. But you have to take the whole front cover off to do that. Anyway, that's the problem with the mattress. And sealing this box, which I did try, really won't help because it's going to leak out the center of the control unit. Where did it go? Here we go. This hole right here in the middle of the knob is going to always be open to that box, no matter where you put this knob. Like you want it over there for a deflate anyway. But no matter where you put it, it's always open to the interior of the box. We're there, it's fully closed, it's inflated. You actually see down there part of the pump. And then I'll move it around and you see how it's continually open down below. And I come over to the big screw, full inflate. It's totally open down in there again. So air is going to come out that needle valve, fill the box, and come out this hole. The cover here was not meant to make an airtight box. The box was not designed to be airtight. It was designed for that fill valve to not, this valve right here that shouldn't be leaking. Everything's based on this valve. You push it in to inflate it. You use the cam to press this in to deflate it. The switch has nothing to do with power on and power off. You can totally run that knob all the way around the deflate and still turn the motor on. So it's basically throwaway. If you can't find any other puncture or leaking on a seam, and you could run a test and find air leaks coming around this box was not meant to be airtight. It's leaking at that valve, and there's little or nothing you can do about it. They're basically throwaways. That's it for today. That's the problem with the air mattress, and sorry to say it's a piece of junk at this point.